secret to start with Lord's Prayer. We'll go from there. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Okay, exciting stuff today. Smitty just jumped on, so you know it's a party the second Smitty arrives. Smitty panels, that's great. Looking forward to hopefully seeing Smitty shortly here. Okay, here we go. Loved. I'm really excited. Hopefully we can get Bryn and Lawrence to show off some of the new stuff that they've been putting into the blog, some of the nice graphic stuff they're putting in to really make it look lush and beautiful. I think it matters a lot at this point. I think we're at the guys. I was at I walked into Chipotle and I wish I'd had our tokens. I actually went out to my car and put some more in so I would have some on me. But anyways, I was at Chipotle, the same one that we were at just a short while ago. And the guy behind the counter, he looked like a gamer. And I was like, "Hey man, are you a gamer?" He's like, "Yeah." And I, told him about what we're doing. He was excited. And then I told him about, the blog and the podcast. He was excited about that. And then I told him about the forum. And it's like, oh man, old school forum, because people have, there's Discords and Reddits and stuff, but we all know that the man has got their thumb on the top of your head at those types of things. So that's no good. And, here we go. We've got, Jeremy's on as well. It's exciting. So it was exciting. Once again, I mean, just my simple litmus test of just talking to people behind the counter of Subway and behind the counter of Chipotle, right? Smitty had the litmus test. He showed our podcast to a mom. Mom's known to be very protective about their kids, their daughters and such, but she loved it, right, Smitty?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sir, yes, sir. So really, really exciting stuff. So this week, I said we would cover the Pro Tour. We'll cover the results of the Pro Tour. Congrats to Nathan, who won the PT just recently. Let me see what we got here. We got a picture of me and Nathan. I can show you guys. But yeah, just had a terrific event, and he had a much better event because nobody knew about our decks, because I don't think he would have wanted to play against our decks, but of course he did great. So congratulations. Let's see who I have. I think I got a picture of me and Nathan here somewhere. Posted in the group. I've been around here a while. Here we go. Very nice shot, Nathan and I. There we go. There we go. At the Orlando event, so congrats to Nathan. They were playing a green-white deck, Gear Hulk. We're very familiar with Gear Hulk. We've done a lot of testing with Gear Hulk because of Dan Burdick. And so, anyways, congrats to Nathan. I understand he won a really, really close match against Chris Larson. So congrats to both of them. Obviously, Team Handshake continued to be, really doing a great job picking the metagame, and they did a great job. So we'll take somewhat of a look at some of those decks. So what we have, basically with them is really similar to the style that we run around here, but instead they're doing white. They wanted white because they wanted that instant removal spell, that where you get a land from it, and they wanted Gear Hulk. What's that spell called? It's an instant removal spell for 1 white.
Erode. Yeah, it's like Path to Exile, but not quite as good.
Got it. Right. I must have spelled Erode wrong. Oh, I have to put white on. There it is. Erode. Okay, so they played this card. Then they played Gear Hulk.
Actually, no.
Sharing my screen?
Am I not sharing my screen? Nice.
Nass was playing Gear Hulk. Larson was not.
Oh, okay, great.
Nass lost. He lost, I believe, to Lars Stewart in the semis.
Okay, great. Yeah, let's get I'll pull up the list as I should have.
Yeah, they had the Diadrin. Was there?
Yeah, where is it? Maybe on magic.gg. We'll have it on our own site soon. This is one of the things that we really want to get ahead on is being able to share this stuff with you. Magic.gg. See if it's there. Read more. Hopefully I can get the top eight deck list pretty easily here. Top eight players. Do the top eight players. Use a bio for them really easily, but yeah, just the typical, really difficult to find the list. Let's see. I can click in deck list by name, so that kind of stinks, but whatever. I'll do it that way.
I'll send it to you on your phone.
Okay, cool. Great. Yeah, that'll be good in the meantime. Let's see. All right, I'll just wait for Smitty on that one. Yeah, this is one of the things we were really noticing during the Pro Tour coverage. Just that there's not even like kind of like in NFL.com or ESPN.com. Again, we've been critical of organized play. This is a great example of organized play. Really, really dropping the ball, really being stupendously bad at reporting things. There's just no clear source for this stuff. So we'll see about. Smitty had some vision behind that. And that might be something that we can get to in the near future.
PokerNews.com, but for Magic the Gathering.
Yeah, Smitty's vision for that, which is really great. Okay, so I'm scrolling through deck lists here. Here's Matt Nass's deck. We like Matt Nass's deck. It had Gearhulks in it, but looks like he lost to Chris Larson's deck. So let's see what they've got. Oh, this deck. Yeah. The Harmonizer version. Boy, I'd love to play against this deck. Wow. Boy, damn. Yeah, but anyways, it was a good metagame call. Obviously, if they met in the finals, it was a fantastic metagame call. Way to go, guys! I just would have loved to see Atlanta Shuffle because I know Atlanta Shuffle beats the tar out of this. It's just like a step too slow. I know this deck. Great deck, guys. Great job, guys. So they have the white just for the Dryadine synthesizer, amalgam, whatever that's called. Okay, great.
Road. That's the only white really.
Is really for Erode. Okay, great. So they're really just trying to get that removal that way. And they wanted to play that mono green or the green landfall style. So it's basically like a landfall deck essentially. In a lot of ways, they're really taking advantage of the harmonizer. Smitty loves the harmonizer. Again, I'm not saying this is a bad deck, but boy, right now, if there's a lot of this in the metagame, like all of us have been feasting in various. I'm in Diamond. I think Smitty's in Diamond. We've all been feasting on green decks. Do you guys get delight? Do you guys get really excited when you see a forest? Because I know I do.
Yep, I'm in Diamond too since today, I think.
You're in Diamond now too with it, yeah.
Yeah, naturally. So.
You don't have any losses to green decks, right? With Atlanta Shuffle.
Sorry, for me.
Yeah, when you play Atlanta Shuffle, you probably don't lose much against green.
Right. And with the deck I just ran through 120 games with.
Yep.
I was 70% versus landfall decks, 66% against
70% against landfall deck. That's brutal.
66%, a little less against the green white version.
66. They bumped themselves up 4 percentage points against you. Good job. No, seriously, that's good. That's far better. 66 is way better than 70, but still, it's a dog. You're a deep dog at that point. And remember, that's in games, guys. He's not talking matches, so it's way worse in matches. Like if you're beating somebody 70% of games, they're not going to win many matches against it because they have to win 2 out of 3. That actually, David Mills and I always shot for 60% in games. It's the exact number we shot for. Because at that point, you're a prohibitive favorite to win a match. You should win enough to make top 8. And if you make top 8, you should win enough to win. And if you get yourself up to 65, that's really, really exciting. And that's a lot of
I suffer a little bit in 3-game matches because game 1, they just don't know what you're doing. They think you're landfall until they see the red mana, which you try not to show them until they're dead.
Yeah, you'll be showing off your deck in just a moment. So I'll save that for you to pull it up.
Sorry.
But likewise, when we're playing Atlanta Shuffle, I don't think that they know what we are until it's way too late.
They definitely don't know what we are.
Yeah, they definitely. Which is
I played a lot of Shuffle recently too, but
that's what I'm saying. Like because you played a lot and you just obliterate green when you play Shuffle, right?
Yeah, it's not a good matchup for them.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay,
they really have to what they have to do is get their nursery going and you not have a charm. Um, and
Right. Wow,
yeah, if
that's
they
rough.
get the nursery going, it's tough sledding. But
Yeah, yeah, you've got to evade at that point. You
and
either
I'm
have to,
seeing the nursery come back more now, whereas
yeah.
it kind of faded away, and now
But
it's
again, something that's so to our favor because we just have answers for it. We just have so many answers for nursery. Because even a lot of times I found with nursery, even just the tide binder, they're usually relying on that first token to break up what you got coming into them. So if you replace them getting that token with a tide binder, a lot of times it's too much. You're going to kill them. You're going to just run
yeah.
them
I've
down.
even used single use detect intrusion before. It's not the preferred strategy, but it can happen.
Yeah, for sure of course you'll use detect intrusion to stop it. You can just ruin every, I mean, you're basically using detect intrusion to kill a creature. So it's awesome. I think that you'll really find as you get into sideboarded play, I think you guys are going to, that flood pit drowners are going to be a real turn on in this environment. Um, I think it's definitely not crazy depending on what you think the metagame is going to be to have one or two in the main deck. Remember it's in theme for us. We are merfolk. So we do get, good bonuses off of the Mind Spring. Right now I'm playing 3 Mind Spring and 1 Harmonized Trio. Obviously I like them both, but I like the counter slightly more. So with the Flood Pit Drowner, you're gonna benefit from that as well. Um, and I think you're gonna really win some tempo style games. So, okay, our format right now, we've given a rough high level. I mean, really, top 8 was dominated by green. So if you've been watching the show, this is a real payoff for us. It's a lot of fun. We're not trying to be, and it's never going to be a thing. Even if we built several, Wizards Pro Championship decks in a row, first of all, we're looking to focus on expanding organized play. So we don't feel like Wizards organized play efforts are sufficient at this point. That's part of what we're doing here. So we want to help expand that in the first place. But even if we were the ones generating all the top decks and whatever, it's just not the point of the show. And we have great stuff, obviously. Very very competitive. Last month Grim was number 33 on Arena. Most people who frequent the show have been in the top 100 of Arena at some point, and if not, at least at the Mythic. So extremely competitive, but it's not really what we're focused on here. We're focused on friendship and um, law of implication, really good philosophy and stuff like that. But we're going to always have, of course, above average decks. I don't think that's ever going to happen, and we won't. And oftentimes it may be the best deck, and that's great. But we want it to be good. Okay, so we stumbled upon a format for this show that I super like. If you're new to it, I'm realizing more and more that we will have some people, coming through and binge watching some of the episodes and so forth. And so I want to, more and more get people oriented as to our various segments and so forth. So, this is sort of our opening monologue. Then I throw the show to Smitty, Bryn, and then of course Lawrence and Jeremy and everybody who we're working with here for to go over our wonderful Magic Secrets blog. We're so proud of our Magic Secrets blog. And our blog that's what led to the forum. That's why we've started work on the forum. So great job, guys. So proud of you. They're doing great leaps and bounds this week. Working on the blog itself. I want to cheer on Lawrence as well. Lawrence has been working triple duty. He hopped on the phone with me for over an hour's worth of really heavy duty theory crafting that we work on, planning that we were doing, and then just did so much more to share with the guys and further things, get things out there. He's been organizing. David Mills has hours and hours and hours of just golden, delicious law of implication content that Lawrence has been organizing between our law of implication YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/law of implication. And then also our Vimeo channel where we have it privately housed. So anyways, really really great week worth of focus and everything, putting things together. So I'm going to throw things over to Smitty and Bryn. Bryn, do you want to take the screen share if you want to? And sometimes these guys they may play some of Smitty's don't tap out deck. Don't you dare tap out. He calls it Please Stock Up is the name of Smitty's deck.
That is
And
please cast stock up,
these
or
cast stock
Unholy Annex, or even
or
Wrath
any.
is like, oh, hi, thanks.
Oh, they can even die casting a wrath. Yeah, for sure. You're just mainly trying to avoid those instances that can break up your combo. Okay, great. So what I'm going to do is go to the GoToWebinar format, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I'm going to throw things over to Bryn. This segment on our show lasts for about a half an hour. Can include some gameplay, looking at the blog, catching up on the facts of the week, and then I return then to help us wrap up the show. Sometimes I'll make some continued gameplay and stuff like that, but I will continue actually to talk about the Pro Tour results. I think the guys did a great job finishing first and second. I'm blown away with that. And I want to talk about that more. I think it's just needs not to be driven past. Okay, guys, take it away.
Let's see, can I share the screen? Not yet. There we go. Let's go to the blog. Hey, there it is. Which blog?
Looking good, looking good.
Yeah. I saw you post this. I was like, holy shit. The design?
Yeah, couldn't have done it obviously without Michael's post in the chat. So
Right. Because Michael posted this one, right?
Yeah, right below it, Michael Freeman's post. Yeah.
Oh,
about
right.
him.
Oh, this is dope. Yeah.
Right.
Nice graphic, Lawrence.
Yeah. Let me zoom in a bit. I think
Yeah,
this
I
is
was
better. Yeah.
equally surprised.
Can I
Pretty.
zoom in even more? Yeah, I think this is one. It's good. Yeah. It's good. Yeah. So this is from the chat, and then this is a card that Michael Freeman got. Did he win this at a tournament or buy it? I'm not
Oh,
sure.
he opened it out of a pack.
Okay.
He got it out
nice.
of a pack?
I thought he did, but I wasn't sure. That's cool. Yeah.
It might have been actually won from a tournament, though. I'm not sure.
Okay, so let's stipulate he drew it out of pack. Okay, that's great. Maybe on the beach, so he was DJing and it's like, oh, let's open a pack, and then it's like, well, let me get another $5,000 on top of this feast. That's great.
Yeah, the interesting thing about this card is, if you're a gambler, which Lawrence has said he is not, you may crack it out of that PSA case and send it into BGS and see if you can get a black. At
Yeah.
which point it roughly triples. But they are, I think you need 2 10s and 2 9.5s to get a black.
Interesting. So that's like a different organization that also rates stuff.
Yeah, it's goofy with card grading. There's like really 3 or 4. There's
Okay.
probably more, but like really 3 or 4 that matter. And for the most part, it's PSA, BGS, and I can't remember the other one right now.
Yeah. If you scroll down, I believe it's on the.
Yeah, if you look at people that are collecting sets and stuff, and
A little bit more. Yeah, there you go.
These ones?
yeah, so there your 10 black is CGC is the other one that really matters. I don't know SGC, but I'm sure they're fine too. It's probably better than not having a grade, but I think I'd probably go with BGS or PSA if it were me.
Yeah.
And just because like it's not good, when you're talking in the thousands of dollars, if it costs you an extra $50 to choose the better
Yeah.
route. And it's interesting too because you'll see variance in the grading too. Like there's a few guys that have claimed to have sent in the same card and gotten 4 different grades from 4 different companies, and I believe it. But yeah, like you can see where the gamble would be. I don't know if it's really 28.6, but whatever. It's a big jump. And yeah, PSA and BGS are the toughest graders.
I didn't know that. I always stipulated that there was just that one that was like PSA because that's like out there. But apparently there's 3-4 main ones and maybe some smaller ones, but for sure 3-4 main ones. Okay.
Yeah, so PSA is the old school, and then Beckett was a magazine you used to hold in your hands, and go through and look at prices of all these cards before this thing called the internet was really a thing.
Yeah.
Back when I collected baseball cards and was just learning what Magic was, Beckett was the guide for pricing.
Okay.
And so naturally they went into grading eventually. I don't know when, probably I would say the late 90s, early 2000s.
Do they hold a higher premium because their standards are higher, or is it like a reputation thing?
Oh well,
For
they
Bell?
weren't seen as anything close to being able to compete with PSA until they were. And
Mhm.
so now it's those two are the top dogs, and I could be slightly mistaken about CGC and SGC, but I think they're like pretty second rate in comparison. Forgive me, guys, if I'm wrong. And yeah, so you have those two guys going at it, and BGS's innovation was to do the black. So they grade on. You mentioned this in the blog. They grade on 4 different
Yeah, it's at the top of
surface,
the blog.
corners, centering. Yeah, exactly. Surface, corners, centering, and edges. And so BGS, if you get up into that level, will give each aspect a separate grade. And so thus, I believe to be a black card, it has to have 2 10s and 2 9.5s, but I could be mistaken on that.
Wow. Okay.
I mean, obviously, if it has 4 10s, it's, whatever. It's like,
hmm
but yeah, BGS black is a thing. It's kind of like what you're pointing out about 9 versus 10. It's like Richter scale difference of a 9 versus a 10. So yeah, I mean, that's you guys can read more of my blabber about this on the blog if you want.
Yeah, you have it here, right? You have a piece. Where is it? More up, maybe.
Yeah.
Do you have a piece here somewhere? Where is it? Which one
I don't,
has
I
it?
don't, I don't think Michael's at the point in his life where he needs the $6,000 like tomorrow.
Yeah.
Did I would definitely take it. But I'd probably be more likely to gamble and send it to BGS. But I looked it up. They won't crack the cards themselves. You have to crack it yourself or get somebody else to. Which is crack the slab that it comes in from PSA.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's a dicey operation that people have done many times, and it's relatively safe, but it's not a zero risk factor that you know
hmm
damage the card and taking it out of the case.
hmm
Interesting.
Sounds like an opportunity for a work product, potentially.
Yeah, service.
Yeah, something to reliably crack it, or like a product that it can be engineered.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are
Like
there are people that will crack it out for you and give you some kind of insurance on it.
hmm
Nice.
On it. That is a thing, but I'm not that familiar with it.
Yeah, but like as in it must exist. Yeah, I can see that. It's like you
Yeah,
pay
the
an
worst
X
case
amount.
scenario is you send it
Yeah.
into BGS and they give it a 9, and then you're like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
It's unlikely it would go all the way down to a 9. It would
Yeah.
probably just be a 10, but not a black 10. But it's possible for sure.
Yeah.
Sick. So you're saying, like, if I add up these elements, you're saying that this card is like $6,000 or possibly like 20 grand, 30 grand, got out of a pack, and then from um, Adam, I think last week or the week before, I learned that you could get those packs like by winning tourneys and stuff. So you could win a tourney and then get an additional 5, 10, 20 grand from a card that you get from that. Is that correct?
Yeah, but like as as pointed out, it's an ultra rare card. I was very surprised to see that there had been 39 graded by PSA
Yeah.
as 10s. That's more than I thought
Mhm.
would be, but it also goes to show that PSA is the place that people go to have their cards graded. And they're really slow, but they're very good about publishing the information of availability of cards.
I like
So, like,
that.
if you look up Ayuli Wolf on PSA and see how many tens there are,
Mm-hmm.
probably about the same. Probably
Wow.
less than this. It's a common from Arabian Nights, but it was the
A
printing
common? Okay.
the printing back then was sketchy. So you get lots of print dots. Could hardly ever find it on center. It's not even a great card. It's just like because it was such a small set and people love the set and it's so old. It's very very there's Arabian Nights collectors out there.
Interesting. So if we look at these 4 elements, you have them here, then the default isn't perfect centering, perfect corners, perfect edging, perfect surface. That's not the default, right? It's more like the exception.
Nowadays the centering is less likely to be off. The edges and corners are still a gamble. There's not someone slowly coaxing this pack into a box like an Easter basket, It's done by machines. And the machines still make mistakes too on the cutting. That's a whole other market, like misprints and miscuts and stuff.
Oh, right. Like some
Summer
are, as in some
Magic,
are valuable.
we can talk about Summer Magic sometime. They weren't happy with the print run, so they made another print run and '94, but they screwed it up even worse. And so they never released the packs, but invariably some of them got out. So like there's a Hurricane, which is a green card, that's printed like a blue card, but it has all the text of the Hurricane, and it's a legendary card. I think I've seen one in my life. It's thousands and thousands of dollars. Because you just
Okay.
don't see. Okay, all right, I'll shut up now.
Oh, this is great. Yeah. Yeah, congrats, Lawrence. This is a great post. I saw this. I was like, wow, so great. This is great. What's this? Is this a screenshot from PSA itself? Probably, right?
Yeah, some of the data of like how many grade 10s, grade 9s, etc. they have, I believe graded themselves.
Okay. And then here it shows no 8s, 7s, and 6s. There.
Yeah, according to
Okay.
this, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, rather than get an 8 on it, you would probably just raw dog it and either keep it or sell it as is.
Okay.
Yeah.
As a near mint card, because it's still gonna fetch a good pretty penny.
Right. Just not 5,000 or that kind of stuff. If it's
Probably
an
not
8,
far off.
really?
If it wasn't, if you just sold on like if you listed on TCG, at 3,500, I'd say it'd probably sell. If you have any kind of good feed, this is why we have to consign now to people because of the old eBay feedback sort of model. You really have to have a high level of feedback in order to interest buyers. Otherwise, they move on to the next guy. They don't trust you.
So they're looking for great feedback, like lots of 5 stars, basically.
Yes, basically. I think they do it slightly differently. Maybe it is 5 stars on eBay. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, so you need to be like 4.9 or better usually.
Yeah, I think they work with percentages. Because I know Adam has like I think he sold like he is over 1,000 sales. Maybe it's almost like 1,100 last time I checked. It's like a week or 2 ago. I think it's like 100% and like 5 stars basically.
That's crazy.
Oh, so yeah.
Yeah, so I did eBay back in the day, probably to the tune of about 10,000 cards. I think
Nice.
I had 3
that's so
negative
cool.
feedback in that
You have
time.
what?
I think I had 3 negative feedback.
Wow. Over 10,000 cards?
Yeah, they didn't get the card, is what they said. And I'm like, all right, whatever. I remember one was a Verdant Force, old school Tempest card, big monster, not relevant anymore at all. All right, whatever. I'll send you another Verdant Force if you'll change the feedback when you get it.
Yeah.
They did.
So they got the card and didn't change, or they did change?
They did. You would fight
Oh,
like
nice.
hell for your feedback. If there was a problem. So the customer in that example really has the upper hand, and you're relying on them to either leave you a good review or no review. Because the bad ones really sting.
Yeah. Yeah, that's dope. That's so dope. Like in terms of like I'm thinking of like selling 10,000 cards,
Oh yeah,
eBay
that's
and stuff. That's so dope.
That was over about 8 to 10 months. It was after the store closed.
wow. Yeah, that's even
Whoa.
wow. Okay.
What?
I went on Smitty's independent trip. Like I wasn't, so percentage wise I was making good money, but like volume wise, I was making about as much as I could waiting tables or something. So I was like, eventually I gave it up. But I really enjoyed it because I was, mostly traveling in Virginia, but a little bit like down to Florida and stuff. So the Star City Games was founded in Roanoke, Virginia, as a comic book store. And so I would go there pretty much every Sunday or every other Sunday. I don't recall.
Uh-huh.
I'd play their Type 2 tournament. And then I would trade. I would never buy cards in their store. I swear, officer, because that would be against the rules. But I would trade there, and you would, back then it's like, there was the internet, but it like, nobody really cared as much like to argue with you about prices. So you just kind of went through their binder and found the stuff that you knew they didn't really want and bought it for 50 cents on the $3.
Yeah.
I mean, I just sold an absolute shit ton of $3 cards because it cost me a little over $1 to ship. Up to say 4 or so cards, and
Yeah.
they there was no pushback on 99-cent shipping charge, so you lose like 20 cents, whatever, on the shipping. But by I would list all my cards at a penny, I think, to start.
And then do auction mode, so it's not like fixed pricing, was like auction for like a weekend or so.
Yeah, it was an auction. I believe we did 7 days back then.
7 days a week, okay.
No, I mean 7 days. The auction lasted 7 days, I believe.
Oh, okay.
I could
So
be
you would
mistaken.
upload, would you
might
upload
Or
1
something.
day or 2 days and then just have it from there? Like,
Yeah, so buy it now was a new feature back then. So like on eBay, the part where you just put up your price and somebody can buy it for that was a relatively new feature that took eBay probably 2 years to come up with after they IPO'd.
Okay. Okay. So when you would sell like a ton, because you basically about 1,000 cards a month, which in a way could be, what's that? 100 per day? No, like I'm not doing the math. 33 per day, about.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Would you?
I think I remember thinking I was doing about 40 cards a day, but it's
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So, and would you upload all of those on one particular day? Like, would you upload 200 cards?
You would try and upload 4 or 5 times a week.
Right. Okay.
Especially if you're selling different cards. I mean, sorry, especially if you're selling the same card. You really don't want, to put 8 of them up.
Yeah, I get that.
It may be different now, and maybe I had a bad strategy back then, but yeah, you tried to space it out. I think I basically did like 4 listing days, and the other days were like administrative and travel.
Okay.
Actually sending out the cards and doing all that shit. Thankfully, my girlfriend at the time, for a while at least, until she got tired of doing it, helped me out. I'm not the worst or the best at organization, so it was nice to have somebody who was a little better at organization than me.
Okay. Did you, when you sold those, did you include like tokens and stuff that you guys used to do?
I did not because I didn't have access to those. Um,
Yeah.
Nowadays, like every other shipment you receive from a situation like that is going to have an advertisement uh,
Yeah.
style
Oh
something.
yeah.
Maybe a
Oh yeah.
token, maybe just their business card, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I bought I don't know how many cards, probably more than 100, less than 400, something like that in that range, like the past, I don't know, 6 months or so. And I've received so let's say some people do like lands or Pokemon cards or like avatar cards or something like that, just the cheap ones. They add. And then some have like like they put the card in like a mini kind of cardboard binder, and then the cardboard binder would have basically like, hey, we buy and sell and that kind of stuff. Um, but nothing like the tokens.
No,
I haven't seen that once.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, I have seen it once. So recently, I got like two soldier tokens, like a red one and a white one. So once, one out of 100 orders, maybe.
And it was branded?
No, not branded. Maybe I have them here. Look, just or maybe it was branded. All things. Yeah. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. These are.
Okay.
They're just like
They look
tokens.
good.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Right.
Yeah, I mean, like people like free shit, right?
Yeah. These tokens look good. Which gives us a nice bridge, by the way, into tokens. Let's see here, prepared and unprepared tokens. Man, just getting some of these. So Mike and the guys made this. I mean, for the prepared and unprepared token. I mean, this looks freaking great. This is the prepared side. It's the unprepared side, or not side. Actually, they're actually like two separate tokens,
Oh, okay.
as far as I'm aware. Or would it be sides? I'm not actually sure.
They're two. Yeah, they're two-sided. They're
Right.
two-sided.
Oh,
Yeah.
two-sided. Okay, so sides. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's
So it's
just
like
like this
one.
right here. I'll show it right here.
Oh, right. Oh, sick.
Nice.
Sick. Yeah, and then we can compare them against. This is default. Warp, 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 warp.
Or
Like, what even? And yeah, I mean, I was see here. You have them compared. I mean,
Yeah.
like, just a world of difference.
You know, Bern, at first, I thought you were trolling me when you sent me the default token. So I had to Google it to make sure that that was like a real thing.
You thought this guy might be joking. He might be lying to me. Thank
Yeah, I
you for the
thought you
vote
were
of
trolling
trust,
me.
Jeremy. Oh, true. Yeah, trolling is possible. Okay, cool. That might be possible. Yeah, I mean this. And I was running some scenarios that I didn't include yet in the blog post, but I might. I was trying like, okay, well, like I was trying to immerse myself in Wizards of the Coast, and like, okay, so I was looking around. We have all this talent, hundreds, if not thousands, of card designers over the decades. Look, so I see all these guys, and they have talent, and they design unbelievably, excellent cards and stuff. And I was like, still, this is the token they come up with. So it's not a lack of designers. It's not a lack of skills that they have. It's not a lack of being able to print or all that stuff. I was like, well, what is it, right? Well, and then I think the only thing that is something like they didn't ask the question, like, oh, what do people want to play, or what's it like after people get this and that kind of stuff.
I
But
agree
basically,
that they didn't ask the question is really
right, because like, how could we ask like imagine
it was boring.
what's that?
They chose something functional that was boring rather than
Right,
ask the
functional and
question,
desirable, and
is this something we can market on?
yeah. Yeah, because like how could like if we're in that scenario, how could we ask the question like that where and then not come up with this? Only if so maybe like I don't see how they could have asked the question, but if they asked the question, the only way they couldn't have gotten to like a better design than this is that they asked the question like 1 minute before printing or something, or like 10 minutes before printing, and they couldn't get anything else, you know. So, but that's like best case scenario why they came up with this. Yeah. Of course, we have the responses. Yeah, Lawrence mentioned there's a shocking difference in applied focus time. Yeah. Want to elaborate on that, Lawrence? If not, it's totally fine, by the way.
I think it's very close to what you were talking about.
Yeah.
And Smitty, that it seems like an afterthought. Like, yeah, if they have all these resources at their disposal and experience, ability, skills, right? It's almost like they
Yeah.
just were focused on, or not focused out, either not focused at all, or were focused on the wrong result, the wrong
Right.
end, the end objective, goal, vision.
Yeah,
It's
because
just
they
like,
did focus on it something like there's a token. It's not like, oh shit, we forgot about the token completely. Neither
exactly.
is it, hey, like I can't imagine being like, okay, well here we have a team of 3 designers. Let's give them a
Mhm.
week, like 8 hours a day each. That can't be the case, and then this being the result.
Right. It's not even centered, for God's sakes. Yeah,
No.
it's yeah,
I agree with that assessment.
Yeah,
yeah.
not even a day. Like
Guys,
I
look
can't
what we
even
came
see
up
like,
with. All right. Look at the
yeah,
unemployment line.
And then people
right,
approving it, or yeah.
right. Like
Crazy.
it can't be like, could it be a day, one designer, like full day, like, hey, come up with the best you can come up with. I can't
even
like I
think,
can't
yeah.
imagine it being one day even.
Like the same designers that are coming up with like these awesome cards.
Yeah, these cards.
Yeah,
I mean, have
I
you
don't think so.
like look at the secret layer cards, for example? Holy moly!
Well, I think
Yeah,
the same designers that are designing the cards are probably not the ones that are doing the boxes and the tokens. I think that's
right.
probably a different kind of party.
Interesting. I don't understand why,
Because
but
the research and development, the R&D.
It's also just a reflection of organized play. I mean, it's just a reflection of
not
organized play because
organized.
they're so good at designing the game itself at this point.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of them. I'm proud of what the lead that Dan Burdick gave the team, and now where the team is taking it. It's a real joy. I love our show, by the way. What a great show. You're a lot of what you're saying. I didn't want to be a downer on anybody when I said that we're not exactly going for the very best decks in the world, or not. It's not what we want to really measure ourselves on. But I'll tell you what you are seeing is excellence in publishing here, and I'm really enjoying that. And that's really missing from Magic as a whole right now. It's very disjointed. It's very disjointed. It's not that there's not excellence out there, but what you're not finding is both excellence and crisp organization at the same time, and certainly not in any sort of a consistent form. So we're really looking to bring that nexus of things together, and this bold way that I mean, just to look at this website right here, the way that Lawrence has put it together. By the way, fabulous. The PSA was great. I have a story. We'll do this. We'll do a more in-depth version of this story at some other point. But I'll give you guys a good teaser here. Let me find a way to pull this up. We get a TCG player, and I'm going to pull up a card here that Smitty and I once traded for, and when we were in New York City. Do you know what I'm going to pull up, Smitty?
I'm racking the brain. You said New York?
New York City.
So
yeah, they asked who won Pro Tour New York. Mike Long did, but it was because of this trade. Let me here. I'll go to screen sharing. Screen. Go here.
Oh yeah. I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
Splendid. Yeah.
How long did we didn't own this card very long, but boy, did it make us a lot of money.
What did it sell for back in the day? Do you remember?
Don't even know, and it was in terrible condition. It was just in terrible condition. So this is a card made by my friend and friend of the show, Richard Garfield. He made it to commemorate the birth of his son, his first child. And there were a very, very small number of them. He printed them up and sent them out to people at WotC, right? Only a few, very small number of them exist. And we came into, I don't know how we met these guys. They're from the UK. I suspect it was Smitty that brought them to us, to me. But we wound up trading for this splendid Genesis, and then we quickly traded. And I'll tell you what we traded for it. We traded dozens of boxes of Pokemon cards for it. It was crazy town worth it. So Dan Carter opened boxes, like we called him up back at our store, and Dan opened boxes because they wanted some number of sets of Pokemon. They didn't want the boxes. They didn't want to break them out. They wanted sets. It was so hot back then. So we literally traded something like 10 sets of Pokemon for this splendid Genesis that these days is worth probably ballpark $50,000. And then what we did was we quickly traded it for a stack of cards about this high, and it was all like Moxes and stuff, Moxes, Ancestral Recalls, Time Walks.
$100 for your Time Walk.
Yeah. $100. So, and then all of those cards we would turn into. Those were all binder busters. Every single one of them.
Never read Patrick Chapin's Christmas list from 1994? You should.
Oh, is it a good one?
All he wants is a Time Walk. And it's
All
a full page long explaining why he should get a Time Walk for Christmas, where you can find it, and how much it costs. And I think it was between $90 and $120.
Yeah, that's
it's
very cute.
Just a fucking gem.
These days Time Walk could be worth a lot more. And Patrick Chapin and I, Patrick first of all carried on the Magic Secrets brand. So after David and I stopped really running Magic Secrets and we started doing all the big internet marketing launches, StomperNet, and all the stuff that led to OMG, we passed the brand on temporarily to Patrick and Pete over at Star City and let them run Next Level Magic for a few years, and that went well for them. And we were glad to spread David's wisdom in that way. So if you run into some of the lessons from Magic Secrets as we come back out with you and say, hey, this reminds me of Next Level Magic, then yep, the core lessons were from David, and then Patrick expanded upon them just like I did in the original Magic Secrets, which Lawrence and I are starting on as early as this week. We shall see, but we've done a lot of background work in the meantime on the updating of it. So that was just a fun moment in time. At some point, I'll go into more in detail this whole trade, but I mean, it made us, easily made us $100,000. I mean, it was the craziest trade. It was the craziest trade, and it was, and what we paid for it was just nothing. It was, but for us, for anybody else, it was so much. It was just so easy for us comparatively to get booster boxes of Pokemon. But the only reason was we would fly to Japan, we would bring them the Magic. Like Smitty, tell them they wanted our Magic cards in Japan, so we had to go bring it to them.
Yeah, it was pretty dope. Like they'd pay triple over there, and then we would buy.
And more importantly, it was more like they were paying 10x or 100x because they would give us. We were the ones getting the Neo boxes. We were the ones getting. No one else could get it.
Neo was the sickest one because it was costing us like $4 a pack on average, and we had 10-year-olds lined up at the door at 10 a.m. to pay $15 a pack for them because
and our prices were great.
Nobody had them.
Yeah, I mean, we were selling them to other stores. I mean, other stores were. Smitty was like, I mean, had a stack of file folders, stores that he was selling into, and
a jungle pack back then cost us like $1.50.
Yeah, jungle. Jungle.
It was like the stepchild set for a while, and they'd still be happy as heck to pay $6, $8, $9, $10 for it.
Oh yeah. Oh, we
at band camp. Mike sold a bunch of Neo because I don't know why.
Oh no, this was great. I panicked. This guy told me the market was dropping. He was lying to me.
It's
And
Hongo Nation. And I was like, no, no, no.
yeah, exactly. He was a guy who had sponsored us before, and Smitty was like, give me 72 hours. Just like 2 hours later, he called me up and he's like, get out of here. He had like anyways, he
It's about
bounced
a
out his
hundred
favorite
hundred
tweet
bucks, 120 bucks more a box.
per
And there
box.
was, I think it was 60 boxes in that deal. So like,
Yeah, so it was like a $7,000 swing, and we, it mattered. It was morale and all that kind of stuff, and plus, it was getting us to stores that were loyal to us. That Smitty was pointing out that people that had been buying from us for a while that had been waiting on it and so on. So it was a great, it was such a there's such a great reason that I have Smitty, that David and I wanted Smitty for this show. The show is about friendship. It's about magic. It's about other games, gaming. It's about philosophy, uh, and so Smitty just knows so much of why we were doing things. Right? It's not so much how what we did. What we did is fine. It was great, of course. I mean, that's why we were so dominant in what we did. But it's why we did it. David's methods, my methods, the things that we were trying to accomplish, the experience that we were trying to transfer to people and create, a really deep, wonderful experience. And right now, we're so pleased. Bryn and Lawrence and Jeremy are leading the charge. This next generation, that what they're doing on Magic Secrets and on the blog is really tremendous with Smitty's leadership. Really, really, really killer. I realize that looking back on this, there'll be those, so as long as we keep these early episodes up, I assume we will. But that people will be able to look back and be like, oh, this is how it all happened. Like this is so that's the process and so forth. And certainly you guys can review, which is great no matter what. Obviously, it'll be available to you guys no matter what. But yeah, Smitty can tell you we used to have cards designed by the most popular Magic designers. Tokens from Squirrel tokens from Ron Spencer long before WotC had them and so forth. And they would go out with all of our auctions branded to our website, theendgames.com. At some point, we'll pull up, as a fun segment, we'll pull up theendgames.com on Wayback Machine, and Smitty and I can talk to you guys a little bit about the genesis of it and how it grew and how it evolved. Like as Magic Secrets itself continues to grow more sophisticated, and the community now law of implication, the way it's spreading out, OMG machines. I just got nevermissingout.com, and that's because when you're here, you're never missing out. It's the best phrase I could think of to convey the experience, the overall experience, the ongoing overall experience that we're really building for here. We're already enjoying ourselves, but we want it more systematized, more codified, right? We want when we're bringing up, oh hey, remember the prepared tokens, right? When we first came out with them. Well, now we'll have a great blog post, that we'll be able to look back and say, yeah, that is when that happened. Whoa, that is what the difference was. And yeah, Lawrence put that together. That was when, right when we were working on, the blog and, it was just getting started and we started working on the forum and so on. And so we'll see that, right? It's very nice. It's for us. It's for you. It's for everybody. And it's built to last because, this is really built us building that city on a hill. Smitty can tell you about the campus of the University of Virginia, and I would walk around the campus of the University of Virginia at night, thinking and having these long conversations with David on the phone, sometimes with other people, but usually with David. And I would always really envision a city on a hill. In Charlottesville, there's various statues, and one of the ones with Thomas Jefferson on it. He's talking about things that are important to him, and one of the things that was important to him was permanence, right? And there it is, the campus of the University of Virginia that really is still there and still, doing something. So, bringing students, I was there, David was there and so forth. Smitty takes advantage of it and so on. So there's definitely, a permanence to that. But when I was thinking about building a city on a hill, a place where friends can come together in Providence, a place where we can really, flip things, where we can really, when people say, things ought to be different, well, how? Right. Well, we know how. We built to it. We built a series of successive, massive triumphs from our days. Magic, stacking from there. We jumped into internet marketing. Well, first of all, we ran the store and the game store, and really dug into the internet marketing world from there. You're doing fabulous, innovative things, and then we, then got into the internet marketing world and started even getting into crazy things like relationship advice. Smitty has crazy stories from days, and amazing stories, triumphant stories, stories of real against all odds success for people that were really have backs against the wall, that we can share with you, and we will. So those were all things that we did, triumphs that we had. We were on the VH1 with the #1 TV show, and on Conan O'Brien. It's the first time I came into touch with Conan's team. I didn't realize I was working with Billy at the time, but I was. Conan was directing a show, or Billy was directing a show that Conan had our star on Mystery. Crazy times. Lots of things happened back then. And then stacking into, of course, StomperNet and Bring the Fresh OMG, and now the current iteration of OMG. One man gang, the way that's come together with Nikki, it's extraordinary what's going on right now. And every phase is really fantastic, and the way it all works together with law of implication.com, how the forums come in, and so forth. So no, really, really proud of the growth of this. It's so very valuable. I said I would talk a little bit more about the tournament and the meta. It's I think such an achievement to have two teammates squaring off in the finals with the same deck. So I want to talk about their metagame choice. I want to give them the tip of the cap, but I also want to give the tip of the cap to Bryn and the Magic Secrets followers, because you would have been even a step ahead here. You'd have known a lot about green and a lot about the types of matchups that we're going to see here. So I'm going to pull up screen sharing. I'm going to run the show out a little bit longer here and do some commentary here. Let's go to sharing, and let's go to, here we go, share. Smitty passed me this link. And we're going to try to get this organized kind of in the front page of omgmachines.com, the things that we think are relevant, but this certainly qualify for that. So let me see, how do I get to the actual screen that I'm now sharing? It's a question. How do I get to it? Here it is. This is it, right? Okay, great. So you guys are seeing me scroll, right?
Yep.
Okay, great. All right, so this is Rue, who played Is It Lessons? And this is kind of a very control-ish version of Is It Lessons. I don't even think it has the otter in it, as Smitty pointed out.
Yeah, no Storm Chaser's talents.
Crazy that she has Boomerang basics, but no Storm Chaser's talent. But anyway,
that is very interesting, right?
So she got there. Matt Noss, Dan Burdick's a huge fan of Matt Noss and his design. Smitty's a big fan of it as well. So he made it all the way to the top 4. Congrats, or top 8 or whatever, as far as he made it. I would have been definitely more afraid of playing against this deck than against the deck that actually won with Atlanta Shuffle. But I think we still
Nass's semifinal match was also very, very close.
Was it close? Yeah.
He took
I still think we beat the dog crap out of this deck, but my guess is it's gonna be like 60-65%, not 70%, like it is with or 65%, whatever.
The coolest thing about his deck, Nass's deck, is it just romps on prowess. It looks like landfall, but it's not landfall. It just romps.
Yeah, it doesn't look at all like landfall. No, it's a harmony deck. It's
so what I mean is it looks like landfall in the sense of like that's what your opponent thinks you're playing until they realize you aren't.
Oh, until they realize you aren't. Yeah, no, I would think that it's this, because this is what I'm much more afraid of playing against, because you guys beat you. Although I'd like to point out that once we have three untap land and a tie binder in our hand, or a Spidey sense, they generally really have a hard time killing it. They have to really overwhelm you because they're not going to be able to kill you with their hook. If you have a tie binder or a spider sense, whatever it's called in arena, which is why you generally, I think that they're a dog against you, but they're much more faster develop. This is a much more faster developing deck. He's got these curators that are going to really be beefy and come get in your grill fast. These Sage of the Skies are no joke. We often test them. Both Brendan and I have played them. I think Smitty tested with them in Shuffle. We love them. We love Sage of the Skies. We think that they're great. So whatever, we're used to it. Cool deck, really cool deck. Typical captain Matt Noss. Max Kamenowski. Is it spellmental? All right. So I'm going through this. By going through this, I'm giving you a hint of the metagame or sense of the metagame. So this is Thunderflock. I am definitely more afraid of this than any other deck in the top 8 with Shuffle. We can definitely lose to this deck just because Thunderflock is just a bad card against us. We can, you can keep it relatively under control with your tie binders, but it's bad. They're often going to have, I'm sure this guy has the land that lets him get through counter spells, doesn't he? Oh, he doesn't have one. Oh, okay. Well, we can beat this deck then. All right. So this deck isn't nearly as scary as I thought. Usually they have the land.
The most interesting thing about his deck is his 19 lands. And I'm in agreement with you about like Spell Elementals is the deck I'd want to see the least with.
Yeah, but now that I see that he doesn't have the what's it called? Cavern of Souls.
Mistrise Village.
What's it called?
Mistrise Village.
Mistrise Village. Yeah, I'm not. Well, yeah, but the card that I read. Yeah, but what's the one from that just lets you cast? I think it's called Cavern of Souls, where you can just cast. You say elementals, you name it when you play it, and now it can't be countered.
Correct.
Right. So they don't have that.
Yeah, they don't.
That's terrible. Yeah. So I mean, we probably beat the crap out of this deck. This is probably 60%, 65%. But if he did have that, it'd be rough. All right. So this is the championship deck, or a near copy of it. I'll actually go. I'll go straight to Sours when we get to it, or Nathan's deck. This looks like very similar, so I'm just going to skip it. All right. So here's Nathan's deck. Congrats again to Nathan. Obviously, it was great for the meta. So freaking congratulations. It's really an all-time accomplishment. This also really shows you, if you say like, wow, how can we have a deck that just beats the absolute snot out of this deck, and it just doesn't get played. Well, Magic's like that. People don't discover decks. That's one of the things about keeping this show relatively under the radar for a while. Lets you see things, lets you see things that don't happen. And what happens when heroes don't emerge, right? The information doesn't get out there. Things, so it helps you have a healthy sense of that there is no destination, right? There's no predestination, right? What you do matters. What you discover matters in life, right? That's why we did Law of Implication to have you be able to see and really be at the fundamental controls of how things work in the world to a very, very, very nice, decent degree in a way that's going to overwhelmingly change your life. Smitty had a very, very nice, basic grasp of David's after game philosophy. And David's overall management style and operational style through kind of a successive series of events, both through what he observed in Magic, but then through when we were working together very intensely on Area 51 lifestyle. Then he was really, really, it's transformative. What David has figured out, what he understands about expectations, what he understands about how to treat ourselves and others. It's just so wildly different. And so we want you to have that. We want to transfer that to you. It's so great. Such a great experience having things. When people come into contact, I think, with Smitty, they just really love it. Smitty was always great, by the way, always great. But there was something about blending Smitty with Law of Duplication and After Game and David stuff that really just was so transformative, as it was for me. I myself, I think that almost exactly the same thing could be said for me and my personality. That I had like all kinds of great things about me, but then things that really, that I could discover that would make things so much better. I'm so glad that I did. And so, anyways, I want to give you a sense of that. Now, this is obviously again an incredible deck. As Smitty said, compared to the types of decks we're looking to play, this is about a turn slow, but it's very robust. Okay. So Smitty, why don't you give your rundown on it, and then I'll see what I want to contribute from that.
Yeah, it's very interesting because so you'll see with the landfall decks, especially the green-white ones, they've moved away from, they're playing like 1 or 2 ice tills, which is, was previously like the grand poobah of the deck. And so what you're seeing, what you're seeing them work towards now is the World Wagon Harmonizer with the Earthbender's Ascension. Really,
the lumbering World Wagon.
Yeah. So this guy brings the land into play. The Harmonizer,
of course, the Harmonizer, right? Yep.
The Harmonizer can, get him going, and then you're playing 2 or 3 lands that turn. And
is that Wagon Trample?
No, the Wagon's Trample because of Earthbend Ascension.
Oh, it's Ascension that gives the trample. Great.
Yeah, that's the key. That's one of the things. So you'll see with this deck.
I can't tell because they're always dead. I've always it's never met. Sorry, I don't want to say never, but I've just been beating because obviously a lot of people are playing this deck right now in Arena.
So I mean, your Chocobos get monstrous.
Yeah.
Nathan
they do get big Chocobos.
Nathan chose to play just 2, I think. I don't know. Is Diadem Trample?
Wait, what do you think? He only played 2? Yeah, he only played 2 lumbering World Wagon.
No, he only played 2 natural tramplers. Is Diadem Trample? I don't remember. Diadem Synthesis Amalgam.
Oh, yeah. They definitely.
So now, so he has 4 now.
Yeah, it would be super crazy. It'd be super crazy to play that.
Which helps a lot. Sirach, you'll see he has 2 in the sideboard. Is another rock star in these decks.
Right.
And so what I'm seeing with what I've been playing a lot of recently is I have a Sirach, 2 Frenzied Baloths, and 1 Leatherhead, all of which, of course, have natural trample. And then I have 6 things that grant trample to my guys if I need it.
You're talking about your don't tap out deck. What we need to do is get a blog post article from you about that. It'll make things easier to organize
I think one, but it was probably an older version.
You're probably.
So the current version is pretty dope. I love it.
Yeah, for sure.
He also this guy Nathan also included 2 extra, not extra, but 2 bushwhacks, which is pretty dope too.
Yeah, it's a card that we love.
You just need to kind of get guys out of the way sometimes, and for cheap is great.
And just great. I mean, just freaking be able to get a land. I mean, we've for a long time I've been in love with the versatility and excellence of Bushwhack. Great card. So he's got a Hydra in here. Just 1. Let's see.
He's probably got he's got 2 or 3 in the sideboard though. I hope
1 Keen-Eyed Curator. So he's just getting a little versatility in there. 1 Sirach, like he said. Again, when I first looked at it, I assumed he had Nature's Harmony, which obviously would have been much more, much more terrifying for us. We'll usually beat it, but much more dangerous. That's why I would be much more. I'm sure that Madnos wins at least 5% more, if not 10% more against us than this deck does. This deck, I think, it has to be going first to beat us. Almost. Really hard to imagine. You have to have such a slow hand to lose going second against this deck for us with Atlanta Shuffle. But what you're going to get again is a really, really consistent, robust game with the way that they built it. They are going to be able to, erode targets out of the way, creatures out of the way. Earthbinder's Ascension, obviously, just tons of consistency, and then their creatures are just going to be really, good beaters. This is I knew that Bossing Say would be a terrific land. I actually bought some extras of it because I just knew there was just no way it wasn't going to be awesome. And then you have that whole way that this works. Great, great job though. So they really wanted to make sure that they pounced all over red blue, the various red blue decks, be it lessons or spelementals or prowess, whatever it was going to be, that those decks weren't going to be able to get home before things get out of hand, and you can get in there. Number of various combos that you can have, whether it's your Chocobo can get big, or you can just have like a lot of creatures. You've got Harmonizer can get going. And Smitty was pointing out with a Whirl Wagon, and that works really, really well with Ascension and so on. So
Harmonizer can also get you free wins with Sirach too.
Right.
If they tap out, just like meh, boom.
Right, and then they're going to mold their sideboard, molds really well to coming. If it's a very aggressive deck, then they're going to really punish you with those Shelter by Ghosts, which is awesome. Good job on that. Try to bring that against us, but still, it's good. And then a variety of disruptors. I love this Voice of Victory. That's great. It's got these Snakeskin Bales, Rest in Pieces to really bury the graveyard decks. You can beef up with additional Mossbound Hydras. I definitely should play against those against us. That's what I was kind of noting. I think this deck particularly I think Nathan knew that R-type deck was not in the meta, so he just played one Hydra in the main, couple on the board, but I wouldn't want to see him. I'd be afraid of them. So he'd bring him in after board against us, and that'd be effective. Although
I don't know about this guy yet. The Kutzel guy. I haven't really looked into him.
Your opponent can't cast spells during your turn. For one or more creatures you control with power greater than base power, and deals kind of damage, you'll play or draw a card. Okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, he can get out fast. That's most of your creatures most of the time. So we can certainly something we can take a look at. Great tip there, Nathan. And again, tip of the cap, Nathan. Also tip of the cap to whoever designed their deck. I don't know if Nathan was the chief designer or Chris or someone else on Handshake, or if it was a collaborative effort, but whoever it was, great job. We have Chris. We'll take a look at Christopher Larson's version. They're right here, very, very similar. And just great. Did it. Had a great tournament. He wound up. It was a final game. Wound up being a double mulligan situation, and it looks like their deck list.
He was the one that cut the Ice Till to add a second Sirach.
Okay.
I kind of like that.
Okay. Cool. So you just played one Ice Till. All right. Yeah. So you braided it up a little bit. Okay. Great. So great. And this gave us a good, healthy rundown. So anybody looking at this should get a pretty rounded perspective on what they're trying to do with this, and it's pretty good job, man. Just again to get two people in the finals with the same exact deck, we never even did that. We got two people in the finals with two different decks. That's pretty cool. I did that at Poacher Paris, so that was pretty cool. And then we did it again on ESPN. I did it on ESPN, me and Matt Leonard. So we did that. We did it where it was two of us, but it was two of our different decks. So that was really cool. But then they did two with the same deck, and that's really neat as well. Again,
look at his sideboard real quick.
His sideboard, yeah.
Look at Larson.
He's got 3 more Hydras, which I would be more afraid of. He's got 4 Shelter by Ghosts, which I like against us. I'd be afraid of them. He's got the pieces. He's got 3 Snakeskins, 1 Cuztil, whatever he is, and one Rock. So,
I dig it. I think he probably brought in the 3 Hydras, and the Shelters
yeah, I don't know.
in the finals is my guess, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'd have to watch it. But anyways, good good matchup. Good job, guys. Smitty, great. Once again, a great week of preparation. What we'll do is we'll get Smitty's deck updated. He has a whole 100 match, 100 games split test for us. It's actually over 100 games with the updated deck. So we'll make sure next show to share that tech with you. And you can look on the blog and see Smitty's most recent version of that deck build, but we'll have the updated version for next show. This show, I think we covered phenomenal amount of ground. Great job, guys! Incredible on the blog and on the website, and it makes me feel great about things. Smitty, how did you feel seeing those awesome graphics and everything that the guys have been putting together?
It's a beauty. It's especially impressive to somebody like me that just never has really gone down that road of creating things like that. So
yeah. So now we have a more and more beautiful world, and we're continuing to progress in this really nice way. Great job, everybody. And this is just it's a very valuable world and very valuable world that we're sharing. So I'm just so pleased with the progress we've made on it, because I think it is really something that we want progress on. We don't always want progress in life, but sometimes in the right timing and things line up, and you really can make progress on something that matters a lot. And I think we're doing that right now. So great job. Great webinar event today. Really enjoyed it, particularly one of my favorite shows. Although I see that often because we have such a great process here and it continues to improve and improve. Very beautiful. Good job, guys. And congrats to all the guys that we highlighted at the pro tournament. Anybody making top 8s, we think you're doing great. Nathan for winning. He's won multiple championships of various styles, so he's really playing well, and he's plugged into a terrific deck building network. I don't know how much he gets into the deck building himself, but he's really working with great people. And if he's doing the deck building himself, great job. And then Chris Larson just won the last one, made the finals this one, lost just by a nose. So great job with him, and Matt Noss doing great. Just really great to see the players doing well. And we'll look to help continue. We don't feel like those players are getting the right recognition that they deserve, and so we're looking, not just to recognize our own excellence on this site, but when there's other excellence going on in the world of Magic, and then as it'll spread other games, then we'll this is going to be a great place to have your excellence recognized in our world. That's one of the things that makes you feel like you're never missing out, because that's where you always feel like you're missing out when recognition isn't in place. There's always something wrong with the process when excellence isn't really getting recognized. You're not going to get continuous follow through, and you're not going to have a real wholesome full product, a full environment. And so we're really doing a great job of that. We're making so much progress on it. Great episode today. I'm looking forward to getting this one in the books up on our YouTube channel and so on. And we'll continue on. See you guys next week. Great job.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Great job.